my face. And so sweat for battle. This is more than just a game. Breaking through the silence. It's time to stand up. Listen to the fear. It's time to rise up. Now is the moment. Now is the time to win or die. To win or die. To win or die. The moment you want so bad. Stand united.
Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to go over movement and control settings here in section 2. That should wrap up our settings lectures. Then we'll go into the training map and my recommendations, why you should be spending a lot of time there. So first things first, we're going to go into our settings in the lobby, if I can find my mouse. Now there is one thing, sorry, I forgot to mention last video. Inventory character render, we're going to turn that off. I'll show you why here when we go in the training mode. But for the most part, you want to play on a DPI. Now the DPI is dots per inch. That's how much reaction your mouse to your actual movement is on your screen. Sorry, let me open that up again. I play on 800. Again, you've got to find your fit. I can't tell you what your fit is. It's whatever feels comfortable for you. I used to play on 400. Can't do that anymore. It just hurts my wrist after 6-7 hours of gaming. I feel like I'd rather just cut off my wrist and never play a video game again. 800 has been really smooth. I don't really have any issues. It's been great. So here we are, PUBG's new training map. Next video I'm going to go over that. Again, I can't stress this enough. This is a great tool that they've given us. Use it. It's going to only be to your benefit. So we'll jump in here. This inventory character render thing, this should have been something I put in there. I've had it off for so long I totally forgot about it. Turn it off. See how I'm at 90 to 100? Look what happens when I turn it on. Down to 60. Down to 60. That's a huge difference. A huge difference. Turn that off. Never turn it on. Yeah, sure, look, I'm a cute little character. Turn it off. If you want the competitive edge, your goal here is to gain as much frames per second. That's going to help you in every gunfight you go in. Take advantage of it. Turn that off. Maybe one day when they fix the game, you'll be able to have that on. It's not going to have as much of an impact. So we'll go into controls here. Settings. Now the biggest thing, this is something new. Vertical sensitivity multiplier. I'm going to go grab a gun and I'll kind of explain that on the way. So what happened is when they put this in, it defaulted for most people to 0.7. So that essentially means it's 0.3 less than what a 1-to-1 ratio is. 1-to-1 is perfect alignment with what your DPI is to your general sensitivities. Some ammo, sorry. I have a bag. Yeah. So what happens here right now, I'm on 1.25. Okay. I can control this fairly easy. Look at how nice and smooth that is. It could be better, whatever. Now if I turn this up to, or down to what the default is, 0.70, enter, apply, close. I'm having a little bit harder time because it's not in line with what 1-to-1 at least is. Now the reason I have it so high, it's mainly so that I can pick up an AK, a barrel, any gun, a SCAR without attachments, and I can, you know what, I'll have a general idea how to hold that down. You know how much of a difference that vertical recoil makes, or vertical foregrip? Wow. It's really good. It's going to help you pull down, so you're not focusing your brain to say, hey, Joe, pull down your mouse. You're more so focusing on, okay, where's this guy going? What's he doing? Let me kill him. Let me get him down. That's my 2 cents for that. Now, target, general, iron, this is all going to come down to you. This was a 3-month process for me to get all these down. You've got to be comfortable. This, again, I can't give you a set number to play at. A lot of my friends play in the low 40s, high 30s with 400 DPI. I don't know how they do it. They might have carpal tunnel pretty soon. That's just my feeling on it. It hurts to play that low. Again, scopes. You don't want as much on the higher end scopes because you're trying to get a headshot, get that guy down. Movement keys are all pretty much the same. The only thing I have different, I've bound jump and vault to my thumb button on my mouse. I was playing with a broken spacebar for a couple months, so I just got used to it and never really thought about getting a new keyboard until recently. Just because I fine-tuned my settings again and I was hitting the side of my keyboard with my mouse, so I went and bought a new keyboard without the number pad, created a bit more room for me to move my mouse. So this is just muscle memory for the last 3 months or so. I just kept it. A lot of players I play with, they have 2 different keys. It's really good. I've tried it for a bit, but my brain sometimes just can't. Usually in a competitive environment, you don't have too much time to think, so I just want to save myself a couple seconds of thinking. Everything else the same, except for auto run and emotes. Switched around wherever emotes are, probably at the bottom. More so that I can hit auto run and I can say, look at my map and figure out where I need to go. This gives me, like, you know, I don't have to concentrate. Am I running? Am I not? Or if I'm trying to get into the zone because I'm late rotating to get to safety. Again, that's personal preference. I like it. I do it. That's just me. See, I'm still running. I can do this whole video and I can still be running unless I run into something. That's pretty much it there. The other thing I have is the other button on my mouse. I have bandage set there. Just because bandages, you've got to pop more if you're only using bandages if you don't have a first aid or a med kit. So I'd rather not spend time in my inventory managing it. I mean, I could probably just hit 9, but it's easier and it's quicker for me instead of moving my hand off my movement keys. In case I'm in a sticky situation, I don't have to worry about that. It's because the cast time for bandages is 4 seconds, so you got to pop it quick and keep your game awareness there. What else? I took aim off. So what aim is essentially, it would be an increased. I hit P. See how it's like an increased hip fire. I don't use that. I just have right mouse. I have it on toggle so that I click in again, and it comes out. I don't know if it's from Battlefield or Call of Duty back in the day. That's just what I got used to. If you want to do that, you come into gameplay, set your ADS to toggle. By default, you hold it and it aims in. And when you're done aiming, you just let go. Again, this is just preference to me. This is what I've been used to, so I kept it that way. That's pretty much it there. Crouch toggle, peek hold. I tried experimenting with the holds for the peaks. I didn't like it. I found myself getting killed a lot more silly ways, so I changed it back just to hold so that I could peek around a corner and move and get back if I need to. So switch from getting shot at and just hide my body more. What else? Sound, I have the music off. This is completely irrelevant to me. I'm usually with players I know, so we're in a Discord. If you're playing public games with randoms, you got to fix that yourself. I don't really have experience with that. Someone's shooting me right now. I think that's about it. If again, this should have been something I covered in the last one, but if you're having frames per second or FPS low, turn these two off as well. These have a good impact. See how it says enabling may affect client performance. Turn them off if you need to. That's pretty much it for controls. Again, in my next video here, we're going to talk about the training map. I would recommend, if you're a new player, I'll probably say it again 2 or 3 times, come here, get your sensitivities down, learn how to control your shots. I wish I had ammo to shoot, but I don't. Come in here, 50 to 100 hours is my recommendation, more if you can. You're only going to come out better in your gunplay. I mean, I know it's different when you're playing and shooting guys here, but it's going to give you a good foundation for your shooting. Again, we'll cover that in the next section. If there's anything I missed, just shoot me a message. I'll give you my recommendation or what I play at. Thank you guys. See you in section 3.
Okay, welcome. Now that we went over settings and computer settings, game settings, all that, next topic we're going to talk about is the training mode. It's a fairly new thing to PUBG. My opinion, it's really great for new, good players, pro players. It has a lot to offer in terms of weapon control, how the game works, in terms of shooting and stuff, driving even. Oops, you see there, I still need to work on that. I primarily play this game in first person, as you might have seen already. Now my recommendation when you get into this training map, first thing you're going to want to do, either grab a vehicle or run as fast as you can. These 2 buildings here, either this one and this one, are the best ones to go to in terms of getting set, grabbing your gear, just so you can have all this inventory space. Because the starting area over here, everyone's just shooting each other and it's just a big mess. First thing you're going to want to do, grab the ammo, the gun you want to work on. I recommend this because, I mean, you've got all the scopes, all the guns here. You can do whatever you want. I mean, I would recommend playing without your perfect loadout. Say, like, you want to run a SCAR or, you know, SKS, right? Because I would strongly recommend you have an AR for Air and Joel, Miramar, and a DMR or a bolt action as your secondary. Sandhawk you can get away, DMR, bolt action, and then a submachine gun as your primary because of how small the map is. Now, what I would recommend doing, playing without your attachments. I mean, you have your scopes, your dots, your hollows, what have you. But I mean, not every game are you gonna find, you're gonna have a vertical grip, say for an AR, which is really good, or a lightweight grip for your SKS. Sometimes you're gonna be stuck, with a half grip or even no grip, and those are good things to practice because, I mean, you're not getting every attachment you want every game. I mean, it would be nice in a perfect world, but it just usually doesn't work out like that unless someone brings you it because you killed them, or and you get their loot, right? So get your gear up here, grab what you want. I mean, this is good enough for now, whatever. I need a scope though. Take a 3 because I don't like 3s. Got a 6, a 4, and 8. I don't have any room. Whatever, we'll come back to that. That's all extras. So first thing I would do, you come over here, either drive or run. We're going to go to the 400 meter range. It's usually the quieter of the two off the start. Most people are messing around in the 800 meter range and just shooting each other, and it's not fun. Now I would recommend for the most part having your sound off, unless you see how like there's no one here around me, because you'll go deaf. It's a lot if someone's shooting an M249. You already turn that on, how much is going on. But anyways, you know, feeling your range. See, I got my grip there. That's a good grip. Now if I don't have that, you see how much more recoil. I mean, that's not a good example, but let's go to an AR, say. I have just a mag on here, right? See how jumpy that is? I throw in a half grip. A little bit better. And then you got your best one, the vertical. Now most new players aren't going to be able to hold all their shots at that distance. I don't know, what's that, like 15, 20 meters? I don't know. That's what you come here for. I mean, you might start off, you might be, you know, depends how your settings are, right? That's why we talked about your in-game sensitivities, I mean, your DPI. These are all things the training map's good for, because when you go into a fight, say, you know, you could have had a guy, but your recoil was going too much. That's a key sign. You've got to turn everything down. And there's no risk at all to coming here. I mean, it's time, but you'd rather go into the games more prepared, knowing what's going on, and as opposed to, you know what, I've never used this gun before, like, how does this work? Oh my gosh, I'm dead. You don't really learn anything from that. That's not going to make you a better player in the end of things. You're just going to come out of it the same as were you before. Now the guns I really like, ARs I really like. See how this guy's shooting me? And now my vest is gone, so I've lost that inventory space. I mean, it's nice, come here to shoot around, but I mean, whatever. You don't down them, so you don't know how much you can peek, how long you can peek. That's not what this is for. You're mainly here for recoil control, how to maneuver, stuff like that. I'm just grabbing more ammo so you can go about it. Anyways, I really like the Scar with a vertical grip. Even just a flash hider as opposed to a compensator, it's a really good gun. There is the M4, right, and the M16 are your other variants for 5.56. The M4 is good. It's just a little bit more hard to control that recoil without having a tactical stock on it. There's one here. I mean, once you get better at the game, you'll be able to compensate for that, but starting out, it is going to take some time to get used to. That's without a tac stock. Again, it comes with practice. I mean, you're not going to be able to hold all your shots in there. I mean, you might. This part might be, you know, you've got your aim, it's time to go, but we'll cover that later. And there's, my personal favorite is the AK out of the 7.62s. You've got the barrel and you've got the AK. The AK is a very a niche weapon. You've got to be able to hold that down. That gun is all recoil control. There's nothing to it. Yeah, there's a lot of kick, but that's because it does a lot more damage. And see how you're jotting left and right? I didn't hold that down very well, but it's got a lot more kick to it, but it definitely does a lot more damage than your 5.56. And that's where you come here to practice that. You've got your drops on guns, so you'll notice a 7.62. It drops a lot more than a 5.56, and you come here. Okay, that's got to be about 300. So a headshot. You come here to practice that. I would say as a new player, you want to put 50 to 100 at least hours in here because of all the different weapons, all the different layouts you can possibly have. It's going to be good to get you a base, and then when you jump into a competitive environment or even just a public match, you're going to be that much better for it. I'm going to grab some more ammo. The other place I like to run around in, just to warm up my fingers, my movement control, all that. Let's go to the Scar again. I don't need this here. Is the Urban Combat Center. There's a bunch of mannequins and stuff in there, so it's I mean, you can go run around and find people, but what I like to do here, there's mannequins all in. So what I'll do is I'll pretend, I heard footsteps, or I think there's a guy in here. I wanna clear it. Run in, shoot. That was really bad because I was distracted by the sound. Again, I really like playing with this sound off here. There's a lot going on, so I'll run around. Let's start again, just so I'm not giving you a bad example. What I'll do is, okay, I heard a guy second floor. How can I get there? I've got to make noise going this way like this. There he is, dead. Or I'm dead because I'm peeking over this railing when I shot too much. So, see how much of my body's exposed to that railing? I mean, the better play, this will come with time, is you're sidestepping and peeking your angles before you go in. So okay, this is clear. Oh, there's a guy behind the door and I'm dead. I didn't check that. I just ran in. You're creating scenarios in your head that could realistically happen in a game. A player would give off sound, or leave a little loot trail around that you know where they are, but this will give you, again, this is just a base. This is all just building your mechanics and becoming a better player in a technical sense, is what the training map's designed for. Like I said, there's a lot of guns, a lot of different attachments for said guns. So it's a lot to take in. You could even just come here to, drive. Because bikes are a mess in this game, and if you're not holding your space and your control, or whatever you have for your tilts to level yourself out, let's try and flip myself here. Oh look, I don't know I'm dead. I just fell off the bike. I lost the game. Or you could go out that much earlier, or in a car. Driving is something we'll cover at a later time. I'm going to say that's more of an advanced technique because of how you're going to maneuver around compounds and that, but this is just a general sense. Like I said, too long, didn't listen. Come in here, practice your recoil control, learn the different guns, learn how they work, attachments, no attachments. You go no attachments, and you can hold this Scar to a single space like that at a distance. You get attachment, it's going to be that much easier to pinpoint someone and just turn on them and gun them down. So yeah, that's my too long didn't listen tip of this one. Next we have up locations. So we'll get into that. There's 3 different maps at this point, so if you have a general sense of the game, there's definitely a lot to take in that you might not have thought of, or that's new to me. So we'll go over that soon. Thanks. See you soon.